Hey, good evening, y'all. My wife's a little bit nervous, so I'm going to help her start out this video just a little bit. She's camera shy. So anyway, she's made lots of cornbread. Got the butter melting on in here, and you can hear, oh man, it's a little bit too hot. But this is the size of cornbread that we're making now, so we don't have huge amounts of leftovers. Sometimes we like leftover cornbread, sometimes we don't. And anyway, here's her butter's all melted, ready to go on in it. I'm going to set that down right here. That's just as...
Uh-oh, I just can't find my measuring spoon. I just had it. There they are. I found them.
That's just a 6-inch frying pan that we're making, a small amount. She's already got the flour and cornmeal and what else in there? Anything
There's
else?
a cup of, you do it in half.
I'll write the descriptions.
Okay.
But anyway, she's already got some of the ingredients, and we'll put the ingredients that she's used in the descriptions. We made this earlier, this one here.
I did.
My wife did. This one has jalapeno peppers in it. I love hot foods, and these jalapenos ain't hot, but they're too hot for her. And so she's making a batch of cornbread. That's for her and my daughter. Now, my daughter might eat some of this, but it might be kind of warm for her, too.
Hey, I like cornbread.
Here's the baking powder.
Now, did you want to tell about the baking powder that you're using?
And the baking powder I'm using, it's this kind here. I've been asking at the
You gotta show it.
at the stores for a long time because it used to be you couldn't buy baking powder at the... You could only buy it at the health food store, and now we don't have a health food store in our town. So, because you had to go there to get it because it doesn't have aluminum in it at the health food store. But now they started to bring it out at the stores what doesn't have aluminum in it, because that can cause Alzheimer's. And I don't want to get Alzheimer's like my mother and family did.
And she's also very interested in starting to learn how to make her own baking powder. We've been checking out some recipes and thinking about going that way.
And I'm supposed to, I have to remember. And I forgot the sugar, and I put sugar in other kinds of containers to make it work easier. And it takes just a minute, and I'll find when I can measuring. I think it said, if I remember. Yeah, I was right. I usually remember the recipe, but when I change it, I forget. And it has to be 1/8 of it, because it did call for 1/4. So you just do it in this half.
No, that's not coffee creamer, folks.
It's not.
We believe in repurposing everything.
We use everything, recycle. And as I remember, and I need 1/8. When you split it in two, you need 1/8. And get this stirred in. And then it called for, as I remember, some people like to use milk in theirs on the recipe, but I like to use water. It turns out, I think, a little bit better. And so when you cut it in half, it'll be half a cup of water.
That we try to watch our dairy intake. Not that we don't eat dairy.
Oh, Here's the half right here.
I think we ought to try putting a little mountain water in there.
Oh, I don't think so. What?
It'll cook out.
It'll cook out, I know. I
Might
know.
give it some good flavor.
And some people in some different kinds of recipes they'll put soda in different things. Depends on what you're making. Then we need to get I need to get my pan of butter, and that was that would be 1/8 of butter. Wasn't that right? We figured out. No, that was 2 tablespoons, wasn't it? Yeah, that was 2
Of butter, yeah, and I already melted them down in the pan there.
Okay, we can pour that in.
You ready for it?
I'm ready for that. I think one time we made it when we put some, didn't we put some corn in it once? And it was good.
Yeah, you put cream corn in there.
And it was really good.
I didn't care for it. I think it would be better with whole corn.
Whole
Yeah.
corn might have been better. You can
I
try
think a
it.
filled corn kernels would be, I think, really good in there.
And it might be good sometime to try it with a chili pepper. You can do all different kinds of things.
One thing I want, where she does this, but the stove is pretty hot right now, so I ain't gonna let her burn herself. I like to get the frying pan good and hot before she dumps the batter on in there. I also like to have lots of butter
Then
at
put
the
more.
bottom. Unfortunately, this evening we're not using real butter. This is Imperial.
Usually we use real butter lots of times.
But hey, you know what?
We do it
When you got something on sale for really cheap, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's right.
We're not on an unlimited income.
Right. Can I put it in the pan yet?
Yeah, the pan should be pretty hot.
Okay, now we can. I want to make sure I don't get this. Maybe I better get a spoon.
You want me to bring the pan over here for you?
Yeah, that would be. Or I can get it.
Okay.
I need.
It'll be fine to put it on the cutting board,
It won't hurt.
even if it burns it, no big deal.
It hasn't been the last time it's burnt.
You can always make me another one.
Well, if I can get it all out. Just don't want to get the spatula melted, so I have to be careful. But it tastes so much better when everything is made homemade and buying packaged stuff. That should be good, right? Yeah. And that should be good. That should be just good. And we'll get this and, oh, there it is.
Now you might want to take it up and show it to the camera.
And this is what it looks like when it's all made, fixed up, ready to get cooked. You can put all kinds of stuff in it to make it taste different. Then we come over here and we can take the lid, this
Well, we're going to edit out the cleanup part. The next thing you see will be her sitting here sampling it. And the fire needs some more wood. Oh. Actually, needs quite a bit of wood, but the firebox is still quite hot. I wasn't doing my part of the job. I wasn't tending to the fire.
I put a whole bunch in before I got started. And maybe you want to take an old sample of it.
I'll take a sample of mine on theirs. So
I'll get you another.
I'm just going to leave this running, but I'm editing all this part on out.
Okay.
You can set that there and start cleaning everything up.
Okay.
Leave some butter in here for us, you know, on the plate
Okay.
for us to use with it and stuff. Actually, you know what?
What?
This is some homemade soup that we canned up from the garden. And we're going to heat up while the cornbreads are cooking. Do you want to set your timer for 30 minutes?
Yes. It's ready to check. The timer went off, so I'm going to go over and check it to see if it's done, because there's no recorded time really on a wood stove to know when it's done.
That's because of variations of heat on the wood stove. You can't just go with.
It feels like it's done. Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
So I better take this off.
You want me to grab it, or do you want to grab it?
I think I can do it.
Okay. Just set it on that.
So this should be done. Looks done.
I'm going to go grab a ladle and dish up some soup.
Yeah, this looks very good. And I need to take it out of this pan. I need to get something to take it out with. Maybe I can do it this way. You have
You got a butter knife in there?
no, I'm coming to get one. I need a butter knife so I can get it out of the pan so it doesn't cook anymore. I was trying to flip it out of the pan.
Oh, it'll be fine in the pan.
It's cooking still. See, it's kind of like this.
Oh, it got a little bit more done, huh?
Yeah, it got a little more done than I expected. But it's still going to be good.
You have the.
And I'll bring this to
Just
the...
set that down there. That's fine.
Okay, and there's this.
I'm walking in for the camera, folks. I gotta
And I got to move this
eat a
stuff.
piece of my cornbread. My wife's gonna sample the cornbread for you. on camera, but in the meantime, I got to slap some butter on my cornbread. I like lots of butter. I know it ain't good for you, especially this margarine.
Especially when you cook with it too.
It's not good for you. It's high in cholesterol. But we all need the vitamin C.
But once in a while, it won't hurt once in a while.
So that's one thing that I have good marks on is my cholesterol.
Oh. It kind of got over, but it's good. I like it kind of like this. Well, okay now. This is heavy package. And if you would like some, you can come over and have some cornbread if you would like.
You like them for all this is.
No, we're not off grid. We do have a stove, electric cook stove.
But I like cooking this way. I
But
like to learn.
we enjoy cooking this way. It always seems like food tastes better.
It sure does.
By the way, this is a tomato vegetable soup that we canned from our garden. And we had some leftover chili beans. And so we put a little bit of leftover chili beans in with that. Just to get them chili beans used up. It was only like maybe a cup's worth. Don't bring that up. That's another video that I gotta make. That's
Hey, you got that too.
I'll give an announcement. That's I believe from Andy. Andy's wood shop.
No, you got
Is that a package? We kind of expect it, but we'll make another video on that here pretty soon.
Oh, and I forgot to show you up close. This is what it looked like before I started buttering it.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit done, but it'll still be good.
You got two of them. Yeah, you didn't do it all.
And we'll take a little taste of this to see what it tastes like.
You can put cheese in your cornbread too.
Yeah, you can put cheese in it too. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't want cheese in my cornbread. I like plain cornbread. The only thing I like in my cornbread is...
Yep, I turned to burn
Oh, did you burn
it.
it?
I burn it.
You left it too long.
I burn it. But it's...
All you do is cut the bottom part
I'll
off
cut
and
the
each
bottom
other.
off. But it's just... It's okay. We can laugh about it. We
On
all,
there.
we all make
You know,
mistakes.
cooking on the wood stove, the variations in heat and stuff,
I like
it differs.
And it's still good when you cut the
But
bottom
see,
off.
now, to rectify, you know, that being burnt, to show you the bottom of the first one that she did.
Perfect.
This is the bottom of the first one. You know, so you
I
can
forgot to
see
move it
that
over.
turned out a nice golden brown.
As I moved it to the
Well,
other
actually, on
side.
the camera, it looks like one side it was a little bit dark, but this one turned out perfect.
But I did on the other side. I moved it to the other side so it wouldn't be so hot. 'Cause that one side gets hotter.
But when you're cooking on the stove, you're not looking for perfection.
No, you're not. So I'm not too concerned. It's still okay. I can salvage it.
Okay, well, just remember, if the guys don't find you handsome or cute like my wife, well, just pray that they find you. Ain't she pretty? Y'all come back now, you hear?